everyone, this is episode 4 of Viewer Game Review. So one of my viewers sent me this game here. They're playing with the black pieces. And just a reminder, if you'd like me to review one of your games in one of the next episodes, feel free to leave a comment with a PGN or something like that so that I can review your game and then guess your rating at the end of it. So so the viewer's playing with the black pieces here. Like usual, I'll go through once without the engine and then once with the engine. And yeah, I've never seen this game, so let's get started. Okay, e4. My viewer plays c5, so this is the Sicilian defense. d4 takes. Okay, so white is playing the Smith-Morra gambit, so a very aggressive opening here to get a lead in development, and actually it's quite dangerous. It could be quite dangerous for black, but black played e6, so just declining the gambit. This could get into some sort of Alapin here and then like d5, but okay, knight f3. So still white is insisting on gambiting the pawn, a6, b5. Okay, so an early b5, I'm not familiar with these positions actually, especially with an early b5 like this, but I guess it's pretty common in the Sicilian to like play b5 and develop the bishop on b7, especially since black played e6, so it makes sense. Bishop f4. Okay, bishop e7. I probably would just like play knight to c6 here, just taking advantage of the queen's position right away, but okay, yeah, it doesn't matter. Knight c6, good. Knight f6 is reasonable. e5 is not really a concern because there's always knight to d5 here, so yeah, h3. Nice move. Okay, bishop e7. Rook c8, makes sense. d6, castle. Okay, yeah, so I think so far pretty high level game. I don't really see anything that's too big of a mistake or anything like that. So queen c7. Okay, yeah, so this is maybe one of the moves where it's not a bad move at all, but I maybe would be hesitant in putting my queen with this bishop, especially now that black cannot go d5, right? Because that's pinned, but okay. Rook d1, rook d8 is a good response. Yeah, and still like e5 here, probably there would be knight d5, which is a good response for black. So white moves the bishop, queen a5. Okay, so yeah, again, I think like maybe going queen a5 right away instead of in two moves would save like a move, right? But okay, a3. Queen c7 back again. So yeah, the queen on a5 is not really that useful anymore since it's not attacking any pawns here. So queen c7 back and knight to h4. Okay, so that's an interesting move. I feel like there might be, this knight is undefended, so there's always some tactics to watch out for, but like this tactic with knight takes e4 does not work because there would be queen takes and that would defend the knight and also like threaten checkmate and stuff, so that would not work. On the other hand, if black doesn't go e5, then this move doesn't really create any threats necessarily, so yeah, okay, knight a5, I like that move. So that's a good move, opening the bishop and preparing knight to c4. So okay, f4, knight c4, I like that. Knight f3 back. So yeah, I guess white realized that the knight on h4 was kind of not doing much. d5. Okay, so is this a good time for d5? I think it is. So I like d5 because there's also like these tricks with bishop c5 since white put the queen on the same diagonal as the king here, which is a common source of blunders in the Sicilian. So let's see what happens. e5, knight e5. Yeah, so here if bishop c5 right away, there would be knight d4. So it doesn't quite win the queen yet or anything like that. So knight e4, white moves the king, and then okay, yeah. So here bishop c5 is forces knight d4 still, because if the queen moves anywhere here, then just knight f2 would win like the game pretty much, because you're gonna take here with discovered check next. So yeah, still knight d4 is forced. Takes, rook takes. Okay, queen moves back, so still the knight supported. Yeah, I'm not sure if I really like taking this knight, because you kind of want to keep the pin alive, right? You can maybe try like increasing the pressure on white's position with like a move like a5, for example. But okay, it's not terrible. Knight so takes, rook takes, queen c6. Knight back, so just moving the knight out. F5, that's a good move. Just trying to just attack, basically opening the bishops a little bit. Takes, bishop takes, knight goes back. This was attacking the rook. Maybe not really because it's pinned here, kind of, but I'm not sure what time control this was, so it might be just good to play a bit fast. Okay, so here, this is actually really dangerous for black. So I think a move like g6 would maybe lose the game after like this move. I guess there would, because like, yeah, here there's no way to defend h7, knight f8 blocks, but then white can take. So already black has to be very careful. And if you go h6, I'm not sure if this works, this sacrifice. But it's definitely very dangerous. I guess in this case, knight f8 would defend mate and also attack the queen. So there's no time for this rook lift because the queen's attacked on h6. So maybe that would work out for black, but it is dangerous nonetheless. Okay, so d4. I didn't consider that move, but it makes sense because checkmate is attacked. It's not attacked, threatened here, and the queen. So in this case, white would have to move back to defend mate, or take first with the check, and then queen f2 takes. Here the rook is attacked on d1, so I guess probably white didn't want to do this because there's still checkmate, and how exactly does white stop this, right? So they'd have to start retreating all their pieces, which is maybe not ideal. So yeah, rook f1, this threatens mate, so, and queen takes j2. Okay, so it's a very nice sacrifice. So forcing the queens, but this pawn will probably win the game, yeah. And maybe even, yeah, I guess if you take, then it's probably, this b1 square is well controlled by the bishop and rook. But if you give the check first and then push, white will have to give up the bishop here. So yeah, so bishop f4 blunders queen. So I think this is possible here because this rook was blocking the queen, the defense of c1, right? So, but yeah, rook d1 wins too, just attacking the rook and threatening to queen. Yeah, taking the knight here, yeah. Nice. Okay, so very nice game. Let's just see. Yeah, black wins the bishop, and then from here it's, yeah. Okay, we'll just see the end of this. So black gets two queens and ladder mate. Nice. Yeah, very nice game. I think like around here, this queen takes g2 was very nice, I think, because I think this is probably like actually winning on the spot. There's just no good way to stop this pawn. And before that, this d4 move also, just giving up with a check here, but realizing that these pieces need to be opened, right? So yeah, I think very like pretty high level game here. So yeah, let's take a look with the engine. So maybe just briefly in the opening, because it was the Smith-Morra, so we won't go through it too much, but yeah, pretty reasonable play so far. d6, queen c7. Okay, engine likes queen c7 actually, so that's good. And yeah, queen a5, I think this was like kind of a waste of time because it's easy for white to just like parry that threat with a3, and then yeah, here I didn't like knight h4 because it doesn't really threatening anything. But oh, from here d5 apparently. Oh yeah, d5 is actually nice because that threatens bishop c5 right away. And actually, in the previous position where white was able to block with the knight on d4, but in this case, bishop c5 just threatens to win the queen on the spot. So yeah, d5 would have been a nice spot, but not really, not easy to time this move, right? It's always like, black always has c5 later, so it's always like, maybe you don't want to play this right away, right? But Knight c4 I like. d5, apparently this is not correct, but c5, knight d4. Yeah, and I didn't really like this because it kind of gives up the pin, but a move like a5 and trying to play like b4 here would be just keeping the pressure on white's position, right? So yeah, maybe not getting rid of this pin right away. But yeah, so far like very high level, and then yeah, f5, this is getting really dangerous here, so maybe black should not retreat this strong knight. Maybe just defending this rook instead to prepare for the opening of the d file, but okay. And yeah, this is obviously like really dangerous, but d4 is very nice find. So yeah, only move, because if you play this like queen h6 and you're losing the exchange on c8, or maybe even worse, this wins of course, but there might be even better moves like e6, yeah. And if you go h6, yeah, this sack didn't work, but even just like rook g4, and there's 3 big attackers on the king here, so that's not gonna be good for black. But yeah, this d4 is very nice find. And takes, and yeah, already black is like winning, and then yeah, queen takes g2, very nice. Only winning move too. If black doesn't find this, then they're losing. So yeah, overall very nice. And from here, I guess it was very clean. Yeah, c2. And of course, white has to give up the bishop here, otherwise black's getting a queen. And here, I won't be too critical of this, because maybe like black was low on time or something. But yeah, queening would be possible, but yeah, rook d1 wins too. And yeah, it's just up a clean exchange and pawns at this point. So yeah, I would say like very strong high-level game here. Probably, so I would say, it's hard to tell because this, like, I wasn't sure of the time control of this game, of course, but yeah, I would say maybe chess.com rating, I'll say 2200. So yeah, 2200 is my guess. Of course, if it's like a blitz or bullet game, then maybe it's even easily higher level than that, but it's hard to tell from just the game itself. But yeah, so a very nice game. And yeah, thanks for watching. Again, if you want to have your game reviewed in one of my future episodes, feel free to leave the PGN in the comments. And yeah, if you like this, I'd really appreciate if you gave it a like and subscribed. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Take care.